The author writes the book. The author writes the book. Hi-ho, Librario, we can write books. The illustrator draws the pictures. The illustrator draws the pictures. Hi-ho, Librario, we can draw pictures. The publisher makes the book. The publisher makes the book. Hi-ho, Librario, we can make books. So this afternoon, thank you for joining me. I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share some of the ideas I've learned over my 4.5 decades as an educator and to keep these ideas alive. I'm going to talk about making books this afternoon because that's one of my favorite things to do when I volunteer in classrooms. And if the children make the book, then that's certainly motivation to want to read the book. And when they make books, you're just including so many of your writing standards and other standards. Now, you can make books about different concepts. If you're doing opposites, make a book about opposites. If you're doing shapes, make a book about shapes. These books tie in so well with any STEM activities that you might be doing. No matter what you're studying in science, you can make a book about weather or space or whatever it might be. And then I also like to make a lot of alphabet books, and you can also make books for character education. I'm going to show you a few of these now. So one of the things I wanted to mention when you make class books is to let the children dedicate the book. You might want to show them in a real book who the author dedicated the book to, and so let them dedicate the book. And by the way, yes, I know everything I'm showing you is in reverse. That's what happens when you do Facebook Live, but my webmaster will put it through a filter and we'll get it up later with the words in the correct position. So anyway, thanks for hanging in there with me. So you can let them dedicate the book, the copyright date, and explain that that's the date you're making the book, the publisher, that's the name of your class, and then the school and the city and the state. So you are including a lot of the concepts about bookmaking. And then another thing I like to do is to put a page at the end for compliments and comments. So you could let one child take the book home each evening to share with their families, and then their parents can write their comments and compliments. And then we also like to do an ISBN number and a barcode like a real book. Now, there's lots of different things you can do when you make these books. I've heard of teachers taking the books and putting them in like a doctor's office for the children to look at in the waiting room, or I've heard of teachers putting them in their school library and people can check them out that way. I've also heard of teachers making a couple books a month, and then the last day of school you can raffle the books off and have a lottery and everybody will win one. So this book is one that I made to go with one of my songs, and you really can take any song. I also like to do them with like nursery rhymes and some of the good old traditional songs, Home on the Range. I'll show you that in a minute. And I let the children sign their name as illustrators. And we sang this song several times, and then I told them to close their eyes and listen to the song and get a picture of the song in their brain. And then I let them choose which verse they wanted to illustrate. And there's two ways you can do this. You can let them choose a verse and illustrate it, or you can just let them illustrate the song and then you add the words later on. It works either way. Trust me, it really does. So this one, give me a B, B, give me a U, U, give me a D, D. What's it spell? Buddy. B-U-D-D-Y. I'm going to be a buddy. I will never be a bully. I'll say no to bullies. B-U-D-D-Y. That is what I'll be. I'll be kind and help my friends. I'll protect them and defend a buddy. That's me. What should you do if someone bullies you? Ignore them or walk away. What if they still bully you? Then tell them to stop. Anyway, I won't do the whole song, but this is just such a good book for character education, and then you could even follow up a book, How to Be a Friend, and let them all come up there with their own original ideas for friendship. I wanted to show you a few of my books for alphabet letters. In fact, I got an email about this one last week. This one goes to the tune of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. I've got the whole alphabet in my mouth. I've got the whole alphabet in my mouth. I've got the whole alphabet in my mouth, and I can read. I've got a in my mouth. I've got a in my mouth. I've got a in my mouth, and I can read. So I took a close-up of each child with their mouth wide open, and then I enlarged their photo, and then I put the letter on the tongue. So, you know, if you have a book with their photograph in it, you've got them right there. They're going to be very engaged. This is another alphabet book I made. Goes to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and I just let each child take a letter. A is for alien, A. B is for buzz, B. C is for cake, K. So, you know, a great book for phonics, and one that you would sing with the children over and over again, or you could sing it and then put it in the listening center for repeated practice with that one. We were doing opposites one day, and so this one, I took photographs of the children demonstrating the different opposites and put it together and make a book. I wanted to show you another book where I just had the children close their eyes and make a picture in their brain, and then they drew their picture, and then I added the words a little bit later. So it works out either way. This one, oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. So it always works out. Trust me, it always works out. And it's all good. You know, sometimes they make pictures, and this one I'll sing to you at the end. Gotta go, buffalo. I have no idea where that buffalo did go, but you'll see when you put it together and make a book, it's absolutely charming. And, you know, usually the children do better than I do. I could have never drawn such two cute little kangaroos. Now, one thing when you make books with children, a good idea is to have them use as many colors as they are in age, because sometimes, you know, they'll just take one color. And so if you remind them, if you're 5 years old, you need to use 5 colors. If you're 6 years old, you need to use 6 colors. You will have more colorful pictures, and always encourage them to add detail and fill in the page. Now, sometimes you might want to have books with words, and this one I did with younger children, and I just let them illustrate their favorite nursery rhyme. And so it doesn't have any words, but when you see this nursery rhyme, of course, you know what that is, don't you? It's Jack and Jill going up the hill. And of course you know who this is, don't you? Humpty Dumpty. It's just, children's drawings are so charming to me. There is another book that I wanted to tell you about that your children could make when a friend leaves in the middle of the year. That's such angst for children to have to leave their classroom community. That's their family too. And so you can make a goodbye book and let them all make a picture to say goodbye to their friends and put them together and make a book. I've also made birthday books for children before. So every child draws a picture for the birthday child, you put them together, and they have a nice little book that they can take home. So sometimes we throw things away that we can turn into books, and I wanted to show you a few books with recycled materials, especially since it's April and Earth Week is coming. This one is the Cracker Jack book. So you cut the front and back off a bag of Cracker Jacks, give each child a sheet of paper the size of the butt bag, and let them all draw what they would like to find in a box of Cracker Jacks. You'd be surprised some of the things they find in Cracker Jacks boxes. This one is a little book made out of a animal cookie box, and they could all draw their favorite zoo animal and write a description about it. This one is made out of a dog bone box, and they could all draw a picture of their pet. And when you do things with pets, you can always tell them if you don't have a pet, you can draw a picture of a pet that you would like to have. This one is really good for environmental print what's for breakfast. Every child brings in a cereal box. You cut the top off, and then you write a sentence with their name, like Omar eats Cheerios, and put them together and make a book. This is another one with environmental print, and I've taken Old Mother Hubbard's little rhyme. Old Mother Hubbard went to her cupboard to get her poor dog a bone, but when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had Cheerios. Old Mother Hubbard went to her cupboard to get her poor dog a bone, but when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had Jell-O. Now, I've done this with 3- and 4-year-olds, and I'll say, can you read? And they go, no, we can't read. And will you do this book? And I go, look, you can read. Look at you reading this book. It's kind of an exciting thing for them to think they can read. I want to show you this book because this is something that you might want to make with some of your Easter chocolates, the little Hershey's Kisses and the pastel. After you do rainbow fish, you can give each of them a Hershey's Kiss, and they get to eat the kiss, and then spread out the paper, and they get to glue it on a shape of rainbow fish, and then write a story about how to be a friend or how to share. And this is one made out of a gift bag, and you can get these at the dollar store, different holiday and seasonal bags, or you probably have some in a closet at home. And what you do is you cut the front and back off the gift bag, and then cut paper the size of the gift bag, and you give every child a sheet of paper to draw or write a story that goes along with the front of the book, and then you staple them in here. And this book I love because the children can walk around and carry it, and you can hang it up in your library. And so, like this one with the pirate on it, they could write a book about what do pirates do, or things that start with P, or what would you like to find in a pirate treasure box, or something like that. So those work well. And you know what? Sometimes children get writer's block, just like we get writer's block as grown-ups. And so this is a little idea when you have writer's block. Get some sugarless bubble gum. And you tell them, if you get your name and date on the paper, you can open up your sugarless bubble gum and you can start chewing it. And as long as you're writing, you can chew your gum. And when you get through writing, you can throw your gum away. So if they're just sitting there not writing, you go, oh, I guess you're through writing. You can go spit out your gum now. And they go, no, I want to write some more. I want to write some more. And they'll just be busy trying to write to keep that bubble gum. This is another idea for writer's block. These are called story pops. And so you cut out circles, and on one color of circles, you write the what in the story. And then on the other color of circles, you put who in the story, and you can use pictures out of the magazine or children's photographs. And on the other sticks, you put pictures of where the story would happen. So the children choose a stick like Omar, and finds a treasure chest on the moon, and they get to write a story about that. And sometimes you might want to let children partner up to write stories. Some of them might have better writing skills than others, but it's a good way to get them together and collaborate. And then I just have a few individual books that I wanted to share with you today. And I found this fake money online, and it's got a circle in it so you can put the children's pictures in there. But wouldn't this be a fun book to make? This one is $100, and they could write a book about what they would like to do if they had $100. Another simple book that I wanted to show you how to make, and all you have to do is lay a white sheet on top of a colored sheet of paper, fold them in half, and then 2 staples, and you have a simple little book. And these would be good blank books in the Writing Center, or you could use these for different themes or different concepts that you're working on. And then I also wanted to show you how to make these little books. And I think I've shown you how to make these before, but just in case, what you do is you stack up the number of pages you want in the book. And so the good thing about this, if you're doing a book about life cycle of a butterfly, you'd want 4 pages. If you're doing a book about census, you'd want 5 pages. You're doing a book with the days of the week, 7. Okay, so it's really good for getting the number of pages you want. And you staple in all four corners, and then you cut up one way in half, and you cut the other way in half. And in a New York Minute, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little books. And I think a good way to make this would be like with your small group or your guided reading group, as you're bringing closure to your lesson, that you could make these books and then give each child a book and let them do a follow-up activity that relates to a skill you're working on or something that you've read. And last but not least, the little napkin book. So if you have some extra napkins around your house, just staple paper the size of the napkin, staple it in here, and you could use these in the Writing Center as blank books. Or you can go to the dollar store and get some holiday and seasonal napkins and make little books. Now this one, a little girl gave me about 3 years ago when I was in Montgomery, Alabama. This is a kindergarten girl. The Bunny by McCallum. I see the bunny, and the bunny has big ears. I love the bunny. Can I see it? No. The end. And that better than anything I could say about why we give children these books and let them make books. I mean, what a beautiful example of integrating reading and writing skills, and let this little girl be creative with that. So I'm going to end with a song. This one is called Goodbye, Good Friends. And you can sing it to the tune of Down by the Bay. Down by the bay where the watermelons grow. So I will just do the echo for each line. See you later, alligator. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. After a while, crocodile. In an hour, sunflower. In an hour, sunflower. Maybe 2 kangaroo. Maybe 2 kangaroo. Gotta go, buffalo. Gotta go, buffalo. Adios, hippos. Adios, hippos. Chow, chow, brown cow. Chow, chow, brown cow. See you soon, baboon. See you soon, baboon. Adieu, cockatoo. Adieu, cockatoo. Better swish, jellyfish. Better swish, jellyfish. Chop, chop, lollipop. Chop, chop, lollipop. Gotta run, skeleton. Gotta run, skeleton. Bye, bye, butterfly. Bye, bye, butterfly. Better shake, rattlesnake. Better shake, rattlesnake. Goodbye, my good friends. Goodbye, my good friends. And that's the end. So, before I say goodbye to you, I just wanted to mention that all of these ideas are on my blog, drjeanandfriends.blogspot.com, and I've got lots of ideas for class books you can make. Like one of my favorite ones is, what does the principal do all day? And they get to make pictures. That's a good one if your principal has a sense of humor. Another one, somebody on the team was expecting a baby, so they made a book, What to Do When a Baby Cries. How old would you like to be, or a hero I'd like to be, or the best day ever, or the worst day ever, or things that scare me. I mean, there's all sorts of social emotional things you can do with these books as well. And just wanted to let you know, Carolyn Kozlowski and I are working on a new project. It's called Happies, and we're going to have little packets for each month of the year with songs and handshakes and finger plays and learning activities for math and science and literacy and seasonal songs. And we're going to hopefully put smiles on your faces and on children's faces. And life is short. We got to have as much fun as we can, don't we? So I just appreciate your spending the afternoon with me, and you have a wonderful evening. And oh, by the way, South Carolina girls Gamecocks won the national championship. Woohoo! Have a good evening.